Good morning and welcome everyone. We're so glad to see new faces and old faces. That's not a very nice thing. Weathered faces, that's what it is. Common faces, maybe that's a better comment. Familiar, that's the best of all. Thank you. See how much I need you? I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining us as we continue exploring our monthly theme of awakening curiosity. If you are a newcomer this morning, we'd like to extend a special welcome, and we're so glad that you're here, but we also have a little blue card, and if you will make sure that we have your email address, we will send you communication so that you know what's happening. There is so much happening in this fellowship all week long. So we'll be happy to share that with you. Put it on your chair, give it to me, one of the ushers. If you're online, please go to the welcome queue that's in the tray, and you'll be directed to fill out the information there so that we can keep you current on what's happening all week long. Since we are here in a time of ministry and covenant, we are asking that we hold all applause until the end of the service. Jazz hands mean applause in American Sign Language. So we ask that everyone applaud in that way. We can thank everyone for their contributions with traditional clapping at the end of our service. It is now time for announcements before the service starts. If you want to submit an announcement, please fill out a paper. There's a basket in the back row, and bring it to me or raise your hand and I will come to you and collect the announcement. Feel free to bring it up or announce it yourself if you need to. There are always announcements on the back of your bulletin, and we try not to repeat those verbally. The same announcements are in the email that go out every Sunday morning, and more that don't fit on the printed sheet. The Sunday Services team wants everyone to be aware that our services are recorded on Zoom, paused for sorrows and joys, and then uploaded to the Cuff YouTube channel. With the current political climate, we want everyone to be aware of this. Please, I got to do the announcements. Oh, I almost forgot. I have some right here. June 14th service. That's just a couple of weeks away. We are calling all poets, bards, lovers of poetry. We will have a service of poetry. We need readers. Contact any Sunday service team member. For example, Laura Basanta, Gilletta, Sarah, Jen, Janet, Deb, raise your hand if they can. Yeah, so we need poems, we need readers. Please submit and contact them. If you have an idea, just walk over to them and say, I'll get back with you. Let me get that information to you. So we are going to have the biggest yard sale of Carbondale. You know that's coming, right? And and we are collecting, and we need more. Our room is filling up, but we never have enough. So go through your junk, people. It's time. Spring cleaning, you know? I've been doing it. I've been taking a closet or a room a week and loading my car and bringing the things that I just don't need anymore. So put them in room 4 in the RE wing. And one request is we have a lot of walkers. I mean, this kind of walkers. So we don't need any more of those, okay? So just reserve those for Grandma, okay? Help make our yard sale signs. This is a fun thing that's going to happen Tuesday, May 26th from 10 to 12, and Wednesday, May 27, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. You better write those dates down. That's a lot of information. And it's going to be fun, both of those times, okay? We'll be in Cuff, and it says 1, Cuff 1. Cuff here. She was just writing. Okay. See Laura Basanta. If you have poster board or large cardboard to donate, bring it on those days. You want those dates again? May 26th, that's this coming week, 10 to 12, okay? Be there. Or May 27th, 6 to 8. That's too late for me. I could do the daytime one. Okay, all right. All right, now let's center ourselves as we listen to the prelude.
Okay, since this month is Curiosity Month, we had a little bit of a challenge picking out songs, but then I got to thinking about my Campus Lake Reel song that I wrote way back over 20 years ago. I've been around Campus Lake many, many times in the past 4 decades, but sometimes if you go around it, you can look at it with new eyes and a lot of curiosity. So here we go, Campus Lake Reel. So let's take a stroll around the path in Campus Lake. Keep your eyes and ears wide open, nature's beauty to partake. You can walk the road less traveled, let your troubles go away when you stop to look and listen to the pleasures of today. You can be a daily jogger or be walking your old dog. You might see some turtle dinner plates a sunning on a log, or a little bass a jumping, or a green and slithering snake on our intersecting highways on life's web around the lake. So let's take a stroll around the path in Campus Lake. Keep your eyes and ears wide open, nature's beauty to partake. You can walk the road less traveled, let your troubles go away when you stop to look and listen to the pleasures of the day. You can come in early morning when the dewdrops sparkle bright as they shine like pearls on proof and bare wash blue with their lead light. You can come in velvet evening, see the changing violet clouds, the winking of the lightning bugs and creaking of the frogs. So let's take a stroll around the path in Campus Lake. Keep your eyes and ears wide open, nature's beauty to partake. You can walk the road less traveled, let your troubles go away when you stop and look and listen to the pleasures of the day. You can visit in the springtime when the trees are buds awake, or in muggy, buggy summer when the catch has lined the lake. You can visit in the autumn when the leaves turn red and gold, or in crystal ice-clad winter when the lake is glassy cold. So let's take a stroll around the path in Campus Lake. Keep your eyes and ears wide open, nature's beauty to partake. You can walk the road less traveled, let your troubles go away when you stop and look and listen to the pleasures of the day. I've seen snow-capped Rocky Mountains, I've seen the desert sands, I have seen the vast blue oceans, I have been to other lands. But when daily stresses tell us that we need to take a break, we must stop, be in each moment of our time at Campus Lake. So let's take a stroll around the path in Campus Lake. Keep your eyes and ears wide open, nature's beauty to partake. You can walk the road less traveled, let your troubles go away when you stop and look and listen to the pleasures of the day.
Oh, I just love that so much. That's Candy and Marty's version of a rap song. Isn't that fun? I love it so much. Welcome to the Carbondale Unitarian Fellowship, located on the unceded traditional lands of the first people of present-day Southern Illinois, the Miamia, Osage, Kaskaskia, and Quapaw. The fellowship is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association, sharing the good news of Unitarian Universalism with folks throughout the region. Our good news is a message of love, freedom, reason, respect, and justice as the basis for religious community. I am Linda Linson. My pronouns are she, her. I am a member of the Committee on Shared Ministry. I am the Congregational Connections Chair, and on the Social Justice Committee, Reproductive Justice. I just love this place and everything about it. And today, I am your Sunday services facilitator. We are a congregation of open minds and hearts, all ages, all colors, all genders, all abilities, all kinds of wealth, all kinds of love. Now I invite those of us who are online to select gallery view so we can wave at each other, connecting our congregation over space. Cuff is lay-led, with the Sunday services team planning our services using the rich spirit and many talents of our congregation's members, friends, speakers, and guest ministers. We await our new minister, Reverend Karen Van Fossen, who will join us in August. Please join us on Sunday mornings or at our Wednesday evening Vespers on Zoom. And now I invite Jen to speak.
Good morning. I'm Jen Salamone. My pronouns are she and her, and I am on the Sunday services team as we were planning this service with transition in mind, certainly knowing an exceptional young person is making a transition. And I thought about what I could contribute. I went to Blessing It All, Rituals for Transition and Transformation, and I have adapted a blessing called For Those Living on the Threshold of Significant Change. It was created by Reverend Karen Herring. I adapted it, and that is all of us. We are on the threshold of significant change. So we are going to bless each other later as part of our message. I just wanted to frame it a bit that everyone among us and our collective body as a whole are living on the sometimes terrifying, sometimes exhilarating threshold of change. We know that all of us are living in threshold times to some degree. What we're going to name today and bring into this space is our young people embarking into young adulthood, our transition towards new leadership, and the transitions and shifts that all of us will have to make to comfortably settle into a next phase. So some of our thresholds are desired and chosen, many are not. Their particulars are unique, and each person must determine how best to cross their threshold. It's often daunting and difficult, can be frightening, overwhelming, and confusing. There are losses, but there are gifts and excitement. Some of these portions of our journey we can only do alone, but there will always be companions whose presence and witness, whose kindness and wisdom will mean that even the solitary path need not be lonely and need not bring despair. That's what we will do today. In the spirit of the priesthood of all people, we will bless each other later on. I hope you enjoy the program that leads up to that. Shall I introduce the lighting of the chalice flame? Linda's going to light the chalice flame.
Do you want your...
Yes, I do. Thanks.
You're welcome. For our chalice lighting today, I will share the first stanza of Give All to Love by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Emerson was a UU, and his 201st birthday is tomorrow. Give all to love, obey thy heart. Friends, kindred, days, estate, good fame, plans, credit, and muse. Nothing refuse. Our chalice is lit, and now with intention, Sarah puts a pebble in our bowl of water, letting it ripple out beyond our knowing. All are invited to do the same here at the fellowship or at home to mark a joy, sorrow, or any other feeling you may have during the musical parts of the service. We now have a hymn, so please rise as you are willing and able. It's Spirit of Life. our favorite hymn, and it is 123 in the gray hymnal. Yes. And now I invite Mama Extraordinaire Gilletta to come and present her beautiful son. Oh, go for
it. Yes. I took a poll and everybody's like, use the thing. Before I start, I just want to say I'll probably get a little misty-eyed maybe and cry, but I'm going to soldier through. And thank you all for coming. Maximilian Ty Brandt, right over there, hiding behind the AV. That's always what they say when you go across the stage. They say your full name, like everybody knows, and I'm sure some of you went across and you snickered at some middle names that you hadn't heard. One of his classmates, his middle name was Marion, which I'm sorry, but I did snicker. It was probably a family name, but we've all been there. So Max was my first choice for a name when I knew I was expecting, and I knew it was going to be a boy. But I wanted it as a nickname for something bigger. A friend gave me an old baby name book she'd found at a yard sale. I mean, it looked like it was from the 1950s. It was old. But I don't like newer names, so I'm like, that'll work. And it had not only the names, but the origins and meanings. So I found out that Maximilian meant the greatest or the most wonderful in Latin. Can't get better than that, right? And of course, I misspelled the name in the hospital. So a pro tip, take your baby name book with you. Because I got Maximilian instead of Maximilian, but it's okay. That makes him unique. I struggled with my unique name a lot, so I find it very ironic that I ended up saddling him with a unique name as well. But I also wanted to wait until I saw him. I said, I don't know if he'll be a Max till I see him. So my Lamaze coach, when he was born, said, okay, what is it? And I'm like, it's a Max. So his middle name, Ty, is just the simple T-Y, because after being saddled with Maximilian, you want something short. But Ty is from who I thought was the most handsome man I'd ever seen, an old movie actor from the 1940s, Tyrone Power. If you've never seen him, look him up. Dreamy. So that's where the Ty came from. When he was born, he had his birth father's last name. But that changed when he was a little over a year old, when I realized things weren't going to work out there. And I wanted Max to know that he was part of our family or our clan. So to me, it was important he had the same last name as me and my mother, who lives with us. I grew up not planning to ever marry or have children when I was young, because I thought the world was too overpopulated and I was not going to contribute to that. Well, at 40, I fell in love, and then Max came a few years later. I was new to the entire concept. I had rarely babysat and just was not a baby person in general. I had a lot to learn. There was a very kind nurse in the hospital who even had the kindness to show me how to change a diaper because I really was clueless. She could tell I was nervous, and she was very kind to me. A 42-year-old first-time single mother. It was very important. Then there were the 3 long days until we could bring him home. And I remember the excitement of taking him out to the car and then realizing, do I even know how to strap him in this car seat? But we figured it out and got him home. Grandma, as I call her, was always with us. Grandma is Max's grandma and my mother. We had everything ready at home for him, so we were ready once we got there. I joke that he's my experiment. He's my one and only, so we learned this thing together. I remember when he was little and I was giving him a bath in my tub, and when I lifted him up, I hit like the top of his head on the faucet and made a little scrape, and I was so horrified. I thought, I've scarred him for life. What have I done, And I bought this thing that looked like a whale that goes over the faucet, which was there until very recently. And he was not permanently scarred in any way. And I know I'm taking a while, but we're not going to go every second of his life up until this point, so I'll skip ahead a bit. When we went for his 2-year-old checkup at his pediatrician, they always have checklists of things, your child should be doing. One of them was like saying mama and other small words. And he wasn't doing that. And I'm like, had some home therapists come, and I know it's hard to believe now, but he wasn't talking when he was 3. So he started going to Tri-County. He was a special birthday, and it wasn't until the following March that we got our first words. It was wonderful. And then once he started, he didn't stop, as many of you will notice. I always say it was his Helen Keller moment. His little brain had to figure out what those words meant, and then once he knew, he could tell you. So, then we'll jump ahead to 1st grade. He was still a special ed student at that point, and he had to have speech because his R sound was like a W, so instead of rope, it was wope. I had the exact same speech class when I was in 2nd grade. Don't know if it's hereditary, but don't know. But after 2nd grade, he no longer needed his individualized education plan or an IEP, which means he was just a student. He was no longer special ed. I was very happy about this. And I share all of this for those who are unsure or don't know. None of us are experts at everything. And I certainly was no expert in raising a young child. If you have concerns, find professionals. There's a reason they have training, because they know. So please, please do that. I have some relatives, like nieces and nephews, that have the same speech issue that was never addressed. And honestly, it can be hard to understand when they're talking to you. And I often wonder why they never got help. I don't know if they didn't notice. No one pointed it out, if they didn't have services available, but seek help if you need it. So 3rd grade year was COVID, and we elected for Max to stay home and do it online. Our district is pretty conservative, and I was honestly concerned that they wouldn't be too worried about them spreading around COVID, so this was comfortable for me. I was also working at home, and we have a large kitchen table, and Max was at one end and I was at the other with our workstations. But it seemed to work out, and we both got our work done. We didn't drive each other crazy being at home so much, and with Grandma, as always. And my mom has been my co-parent for all of this. She was my babysitter when I went back to work after I had Max. She was 79, almost 80 at the time. She never had any complaints, and I couldn't have done any of this without her. My mom taught me the value of hard work by displaying it every day. She was a factory worker, and she hauled me around as a single parent for much of my life, and she just showed me every day how you do it. So now we'll advance a little farther to get to Cuff. We came to Cuff for a trivia night in February of 2018. Max went back to the RE and absolutely loved it. He talked about it all the way home. So I told him, if you want to go back tomorrow morning for service, you can go back again. And he's like, oh yeah, let's do that. I had attended before I had him, but was never an official member. So once we came back, they couldn't get rid of us. We were in RE a lot. So they were very kind to us. They didn't kick us out, but that was really, I guess, what first bonded us to Cuff was RE. So he always loved RE, and when I would ask him what it meant, like the fellowship and Cuff and being a UU, he always told me from early on, it's all about love. Love for our fellow humans and for our planet. I always thought those were wise words from one so young. He was and is completely right. I shared this more than once with Reverend Sarah over the years, and I'm convinced it somehow got to someone in charge at the UUA. They stole his idea. It's right there. It's right there. So it did take him a while to catch up, but I can't say that I'm upset that love is now at the center. I've learned so much from my amazing son. I feel sometimes that I lean on him too much, and it's not fair to him. But part of that is because I think he's an 80-year-old trapped in a 14-year-old body. We talk all the time about little things and important things and significant things and just everyday things. We're safe havens for each other to share no matter what it is, and I hope we never lose that. But I also know this graduation is a definite milestone, and he'll soon be driving before I know it and doing more things where he doesn't need me to take him there anymore. But I've always felt it, my role or job or duty as a parent is to prepare him for our world and help him stand on his own 2 feet. I was never a helicopter parent, and I think we do a disservice when we do that. But Cuff also has been no small part in helping to mold my son into the thoughtful young man he is and continues to become. When I went to parent-teacher conferences in the fall, his science teacher told me that he's a good person and very thoughtful. She wasn't concerned about his grades because those were fine, but she wanted me to know what a wonderful young man he is. And I couldn't have asked for a better compliment. We were at the orthodontist the other day, and the nurse came out, and she told me that she said, your son is always talkative. She's like, other kids come in, don't say anything. He actually talks and answers and asks questions. So we know he likes to talk. Other teachers at that parent-teacher conference described him as somewhat loud, talkative, and sometimes clownish. They couldn't see past that to the good person underneath. But she saw that, and that meant the world to me. We have so much kindness from people here and care and support. So now I'm going to delve into our principles on our little thing here and show how Max kind of relates to our UU principles, since we now know that Max is responsible for the love in the middle. Their other qualities listed are interdependence, equity, transformation, pluralism, generosity, and justice. Love is needed for all of these qualities and is certainly needed to combine them. As a product of our faith, I would like to share how Max encompasses each of these qualities. Interdependence is pretty easy. He's interdependent on family to go places, have money, food, shelter, etc. But he also understands our interdependence with our fellow people and our planet. And Cuff always finds a way to emphasize how connected we are to our fellow humans and our planet. Equity, easy for a white male, right? They are inherently born with the equity in our society. Max realizes that's privilege that he carries as being Caucasian and male. This seems to elude many adult white men because they've been raised with all the privilege without even realizing it. Many are angry when it's pointed out. Max is already ahead of the game. Transformation encompasses so many things. Physically, he has transformed and continues to transform before our eyes. I think he gets taller every day. I'm not mad about that. So, from a young child to a young person, and soon he'll be a full adult. But the transformation on the inside is even more important. And I am treated to endless conversations about important topics that I'm not sure all parents get to have with their teenagers. I feel privileged about this. His class read To Kill a Mockingbird at the end of the school year this year, and he kept me updated on where he was in the book. I've never read it, so I didn't really know what he was talking about. But I listened intently, and I could tell it had a great impact on him. They also did a play at school with the same teacher called Coming of Age in Middle School. It was just this past Saturday that they performed it for us. I discovered when we went to see the play that I did not know they'd read a poem earlier, and him and some of his classmates decided they were going to write a play based on that poem. So they did. They contacted the author of the poem. He gave their permission. He was happy for him to do it. And it was coming of age in middle school. It hit all the awkward girl and boy things, and it was just wonderful. So it was wonderful. Then pluralism is also on here. I wasn't sure how to define that, so I looked it up. The definition I found was a worldview and social framework that promotes active, respectful engagement with diverse cultures, beliefs, and identities rather than mere tolerance. That's one of those big words right there, but as you use, we do embrace that. We are not only respectful, but we seek out to be informed and engage with diverse cultures. That's also something the RE values and shares with the kids and youth. And I think it's a very important thing in our particular part of the country. Generosity is the next quality, and Max has that in spades. He's always willing to help here at Cuff and at home. Now that he's the tallest, he has to get everything out of the top cabinets. He also has a genuine generosity of spirit that I love. Toward the end of April, he told me he was feeling in a rut. All his days were running together, and they were all the same. We've all been there. You just feel like every day is the same as the one before and the next one. But he didn't wallow in it. He just kept going, and finally it changed. The last quality is justice. Max has a real passion for justice, but perhaps not necessarily how we might normally think of it. He has some grand ideas about passenger rail and bus service throughout the Southern Illinois region. And I warn you, if you ask him about it, take a day. At least some of it stems from the fact that people in our area have trouble getting around. If you don't drive or can't drive, how do you get places if you don't have family? I don't know. But I think that's part of the justice. He thinks there should be more justice. And in closing, Cuff has provided so many skills and ideas and thoughts to Max and me, and there's absolutely no question he would not be the young man he's becoming without the Cuff qualities we all share. I love him, and I love all of you for helping me raise him. We are prepping his wings very well to soar on his own, and he won't be an Icarus who gets too close to the sun. Thank you for helping us grow. And I'm going to invite Jean and Rhonda up, and also Max over here, because Miriam wants to get photos. Let's go over here for a minute for Miriam.
You want to ask? ask them.
If any of the RE kids, I know there's not a lot in this room right now, but if any of the RE kids would like to come up, they're welcome to.
Well, congratulations, Max, and we have some gifts for you. So, the monthly theme is Awaking Curiosity, and Gilletta sort of already hinted at this. I don't think you'll ever encounter a person in your life, young or old, that has a greater curiosity than Max. If he becomes curious about something, the door is open, and you'll learn more from him than he's encyclopedic in his knowledge. So one of the things, and Gilletta hinted at this, is that Max is very interested in trains. And so I make books, and I've made a journal for Max, the cover of which is historic trains. And so I think you can record all your great thoughts about trains, all your curiosity and knowledge in this journal. Congratulations, Max.
Thank you. And I've only been working with RE for about a year and a half, a little, maybe close to 2 years now, and it's been so wonderful working with Max. And Max is so smart, and he has amazing memory, and he's so kind, and he's so helpful, and he's creative, and he's deep, and I've just really, really enjoyed working with him. And I'm glad I got to know Max before, like we both did AV together and stuff. So I got to know Max in other capacities, and I'm glad he did. I'm glad I did. We have a card from RE for you and the kids, and this is also a pen. And there's one more thing that got delayed in shipping, but it's a little thing, and I'll give that to you next week. But we're just so proud of you, Max, and congratulations. Can I give you a hug? All right, take care.
Is there a ribbon ceremony?
Gilletta is preparing Max's bright red threshold into his future.
Oh.
It's going to go as far as... Oh, yeah. That's it. That's all we got. We're going to move the basket. Move the basket. We're good.
Oh, that's congratulations, Max. Thank you. I appreciate it. That was a wonderful ceremony. That was perfect. Is there more? Oh, Debbie. Okay. Max, turn me back off.
Hello, I am going to read "Oh, the Places You'll Go" by Dr. Seuss, and I would like to invite any kids or adults that would like to come and sit around here. And I said, I'm not going down there and sitting with a microphone because I won't be able to get back up, so I'm staying up here. But this is something when I was a counselor for many, many years. We worked with people that had issues that prevented them from getting ahead in life. And one of the things we did is when they graduated, we had lots of parties for everything, but we gave each of them, with all of us signing it, a copy of Dr. Seuss's "Oh, the Places You'll Go." And I would like to read that now. Congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have grains in your head, and you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the guy who'll decide where to go. You'll look up and down streets, look them over with care, and some you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down a not-so-good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's opener there in the wide open world. Out there, things can happen and frequently do to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew, just go right along. You'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up, you'll be seeing great sights, you'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed, you'll pass the whole gang, and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your gang will fly on, and you'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You will come to a place where the streets are not marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place you could sprain both your elbow and chin. Do you dare to stay out? Do you dare to go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? And if you go in, should you turn left or right and 3/4, or maybe not quite, or go around back and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not, I'm afraid you will find, for a mind maker-upper to make up his mind. You can get so confused that you'll start to race down long wiggled roads at a breaknecking pace and grind on for miles across weirdish wild space, headed, I fear, toward a most useless place, the waiting place, for people just waiting. Waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or go to the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Waiting for the fish to bite, or waiting for wind to fly a kite, or waiting around for Friday night. Or waiting, perhaps, for their Uncle Jake, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. No, that's not for you. Somehow you will escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing with banner flip-flapping. Once more you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky, ready because you're that kind of a guy. Oh, the places you'll go. There is fun to be done. There are points to be scored. There are games to be won. And the magical things you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame. You'll be famous as can be with the whole wide world watching you on TV. Except when they don't. Because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too, games you can't win because you'll play against you, all alone. Whether you like it or not, alone will be something you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much that you don't want to go on. But on you will go, through the weather be foul, on you will go, though your enemies prowl. On you will go, though the heckin' cracks howl. Onward up many a frightening creek, though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far and face up to the problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So, be your name Buxbaum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai Ailvan, Alan O'Shea, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So, get on your way.
Thank you, Debbie. Are the children staying with?
In our fellowship, we share so many things: time, efforts, talents, spirit, and money. We share with this fellowship and for the needs of the fellowship, but we also share with our greater community beyond these walls. You may contribute to the fellowship or to our social action offering recipient for May, 724 Ministries. There's more information about them in your order of service. Checks should be made payable to CUF, and if you can also donate online via PayPal, the link is in the chat and in your order of service. Use the check memo area or the note area in PayPal if you wish to specify a contribution to 724 Ministries. Also remember that your spare change makes a difference. All the coins collected during the offering are sent to the UUA Annual Program Fund, which provides important resources to UU congregations, including this one. Please join me now in our unison offering, reading words that are in the order of service and on the screen. We pass the plate today in a community expression of thanks for the blessing of abundance, to visibly bring in the harvest at this most cherished hour of our week. Our offering says that the act of giving is essential to our spiritual well-being and the many possibilities of love that binds and abounds. Your contributions in all forms are gratefully received.
We've heard some wonderful poems today, and a little bit ago we did the jazz hands for Ralph Waldo Emerson, and I realized one of my favorites by Ralph Waldo is very consistent with our message on awakening curiosity, so I just take a moment to recite that, a little bit of it. Oh, let the solid ground beneath my feet not fail before I've found what some have found so sweet. And then let come what may, no matter I go mad, I shall have had my day. And the song we're going to do right now, it's one I wrote about being curious about trying something new that entails some risk and having some second thoughts about that. But the real message of the song is the last line, so listen to that. Thought I wanted a sandwich, something kind of spicy, sriracha, Cholula, ghost pepper dicey. 14 glasses down, lips in distress. On second thought, maybe mustard's best. Thought I needed space, yeah, a house with some sprawl. Vaulted ceilings echo down the hall. But empty rooms don't keep you warm at night. On second thought, cozy feels right. Oh, I chase the thrill and I feel the burn. Every wild choice is a lesson learned. From fire to frost, I changed my mind. On second thought, I like the quiet kind. Thought I'd play a game that was wild and risky. Complicated chaos size, all frisky. But storms get old when you deep soon chill. On second thought, give me run of the mill. It's not regret, just a better view. Clarity comes after walking through the things I wanted, the ones I'd shout, and the dreams I chased that I can do without. Yeah, I chase the thrill, then I feel the burn. Every bold turn is a way to learn. From dark to bright, I find my light. On third thought, I think I just might.
Good morning. So I said I was going to do a reading for graduation Sunday. Thinking Max, I Googled graduation stories. And I got stories of college graduates who had partied the night before and were still drunk. Then I searched graduation thoughts and got greeting card messages. We're so proud of you. Can't wait to see how successful you'll be. Then I caught eye of Oprah's best graduation gifts. I actually thought the oven mitt and the pot holder would be nice for Max, but he wasn't moving into his first apartment. I digressed. 8th grade graduation search came up with peace out middle school. Plenty of signs, but nothing much to talk about. How about future dreams? Surely there'd be something there I could expand upon. There was, if I wanted some sort of music by Cybertilt, not released on this platform, but surely I was on the right track. The future awaits. That search, I found out, was about a movie of Jews in Paris during World War II. Not one thing about the actual future that awaits Max. I was coming up with nothing. Then I remembered a list of things that we had gotten from a middle school counselor given to us when our oldest was in middle school. We posted it on the refrigerator door for over a decade. Among the list was a saying telling us to tell our kids, "We're glad you're on our team." It was one that we used tongue-in-cheek over the years, and even today to bring a chuckle into the conversation. It was serious. It was also goofy. So Max, we're glad you're on our team. You bring a sense of responsibility to all of us. We are all your parents in love. We're glad you're on our team, Max, because you've given us the opportunity to watch you grow and mature into the human you are today. We're glad you're on our team, Max. We see your generosity of spirit and community in what you're doing by being AV host on Sundays and helping out in RE. We're glad you're on our team, so we can continue to watch you mature and be in awe of your awakening of self as you grow into your own person. We're glad you're on our team because maybe one day we're going to vote for you into office. We're glad you're on our team mostly because we just love you and we need you in our lives. Go forward in the next part of your life with the knowledge of this community's presence and love in your life. Peace on, middle school.
Oh, it was good to have our young people with us this morning and to celebrate the ways that they all change and how we support that change. But we never stop changing either. Cuff as a body is at a very particular threshold with welcoming our new minister, Reverend Karen Van Fossen, in August. Each individual person in this body, like a mobile above a baby's crib, will be gently shifted and moved in ways that we can't predict, but are all interconnected and will reverberate amongst us. I know that we can navigate that, and curiosity actually gives us more resources than you might imagine. You'd think that you'd want certainty, if you're about to face a large liminal space, a stepping over, you want to prepare for everything, right? But I say, let's do a little bit of an alternative, kind of like last week when we said perfection gets in the way. We're going to be a little playful today and spend time in the in-between, right? Spend time in the waiting. Sometimes the waiting can be okay. I'm going to offer a blessing. I will be the leader, but we are going to respond as participants, and we are giving this blessing to ourselves as a community, okay? And then our Sunday services team is going to roll out a threshold for the rest of the community to walk over when we leave today. Carbondale Unitarian Fellowship as a community has been named here as recipient, but we are all on individual thresholds and give and receive this blessing to each other. For all of us pausing on a threshold about to move into the unknown, we are present here together. Although we may not know the particulars of every threshold, which is unique to us all, we collectively offer our supportive presence for steadiness on your path, our compassionate and understanding minds to hear your hopes and fears, and our open hearts to share the joys and sorrows as spoken and unspoken. As we move toward the uncertainty of all that is unfolding, we remind ourselves of the love that holds us certain and true. May our hearts remain open to grieve what we are leaving and to receive the gifts that will come our way in this crossing. May our own inner lights guide us, and may we learn to trust it, even when it does not shine far down the road. If our light begins to flicker and fade, we will offer sparks to reignite it to each other. May we be blessed by courage to keep moving into the life that awaits us. May we be blessed by compassion, especially for ourselves. May this passage bring us new discoveries and renewed faith, and offer us a gateway to ancient wisdom and healing wholeness. May we always remember the pledge of this community, extending hand and heart, open to all that is to come.
together. How wonderful. And now we invite our musicians to give us our postlude.
Okay, for our last song today, I decided to choose one I wrote in 2012 about Bucky's Dome. I was privileged to get to meet Buckminster Fuller way back in 1966 when I was a freshman in college, and he came and did a convocation. And after his convocation, he said, if anybody else wants to talk to me out on the lawn afterwards, come sit on the lawn and we'll talk. And 2 hours later, a lot of us were still there talking to him. He was an amazing person. So anyway, I wrote this song back when we were trying to raise money to repair the dome and everything. So that's what this song is about. Bucky's Dome. And in the chorus, when I sing Bucky's Dome, I want everybody to echo back, Bucky's Dome, Bucky's Dome, Bucky's Dome, etc. So, he thought outside the little boxes when designing people's homes with dimaxionic purpose, made the geodesic dome, said he, because our Earth's a ball in space, there's neither up nor down, as up is out and down is in, because our world is round. Bucky's Dome, Bucky's Dome, Bucky's Dome, Bucky's Dome. In our town of Carbondale, Bucky Fuller built his home of tetrahedric tessellations. Please give a small donation to help us with restoration, enabling salvation of the dome. Bucky's Dome was inventor, artist, scientist, a professor of design. He came to teach at SIU around 1959. Our Earth, he said's a spaceship upon which we must survive. We'll build livingry, not weaponry, to help all peoples thrive. Bucky's Dome, Bucky's Dome, Bucky's Dome, Bucky's Dome. In our town of Carbondale, Bucky Fuller built his home of tetrahedric tessellations. Please give a small donation to help us with restoration, enabling salvation of the dome. Bucky's Dome. His map interconnects our continents in harmony, illustrating polar routes to get from point A to point Z. We're a circumglobal village with resources all can share, with transportation and distribution, remove boundaries if we dare. Bucky's Dome, Bucky's Dome, Bucky's Dome. That's right, Bucky's Dome. In our town of Carbondale, Bucky Fuller built his home of tetrahedric tessellations. Please give a small donation to help us with restoration, enabling salvation of the dome. Bucky's Dome. Our dear Professor Bucky Fuller died in 1983, left an optimistic worldview, an inventive legacy. His dome is silent, non-neglected, neat, fair. A classroom, his dome a silent Carbondale, long neglected, needs repair. A classroom, library, museum, fit for all the world to share. Let us persevere together to preserve this national treasure, ravaged long by time and weather. Bucky's Dome, Bucky's Dome, Bucky's Dome, Bucky's Dome, Bucky's Dome, Bucky's Dome. In our town of Carbondale, Bucky Fuller built his home of tetrahedric tessellations. Please give a small donation to help us with restoration, enabling salvation of the dome. Bucky's Dome, enabling salvation of the dome. Bucky's Dome.
Thank you for that joyful ending. I would like to thank everyone who made this service possible, which includes each and all of us here today. Thanks to Gilletta for sharing her story. You got through it just beautifully. Thanks to Jen for her welcome and her message. Thank you, Debbie, for that wonderful story. Thank you, Marty and Candy, for your musical interludes. Thanks to Elena for accompanying us. And thanks to our graduate Max for helping with AV. Thanks to Bill and Jan for greeting, and I think that we had an assistant with collection too. Benita helped with collection, so thank you, Benita. And thanks to me for facilitating, yay. Please take a quick look around you as you, before the benediction, and put your hymnals back on chairs when you leave, and take any cups and papers, etc. with you. It just helps us clean up the space. Please rise as you are willing and able, and hold hands or hold your palms out for our benediction. Let your spirit be surprised by Reverend Tandy Rogers. May your wonder be bigger than your fear. May questions lead you gently into truth, not control. May you meet the unknown with wide eyes, and let your spirit be surprised. Blessed be, go in peace with love for justice.